All right, Hustle and Heart. How are my girlies doing? It's been a while since we have had a really good, solid team call with a bunch of training involved. So I just wanted to hop on here tonight with you guys. And if you're catching replay, comment if you have questions too. But we'll probably have a little Q&A at the end. But this will be recorded all the way through, and I'll upload for you guys on the YouTube channel. But I wanted to talk about leading the way that we coach and the way that we run our social media with our stories and our results. Because I know that there is a lot of pressure to have a beautiful feed, and we get caught up in if things look good or if it looks professional maybe, or sharing other people's results because they're so impressive, when really we're doing ourselves a disservice and we're doing our people a disservice by not sharing us and our story. So tonight, I just wanted to talk about how we can avoid making those mistakes by really tapping into our transformations, whether it be physical or within, and making sure that we're sharing that more than anything in order to promote ourselves and promoting our team, especially for times like this when there's a program launch coming up. So when I'm speaking about a program launch, I'm talking about the new program called Morning Meltdown 100. I've seen it teased on Instagram for a few months now, and at a super weekend in Minneapolis, I think in January, we saw a little video preview of it, and I thought, wow, this program looks really cool. It's with the trainer Jericho McMatthews. I think she coaches Core de Force with Joel, if I'm correct. I haven't gone through that program, but it's the MMA, like fun fighter style one. So I never really got into her as a trainer personally. So when I saw this one coming up that kind of had the feel of an 80-day / Shaun T workout, it got me excited because it has that group exercise feel with upbeat cardio, and just I was looking forward to switching my routine up too. So in order to really make this a successful launch for me and my business, I know that I'm not going to be able to share my personal results from this brand new program because I've never had a chance to do it start to finish. We don't have access to it yet, but I wanted to share what's worked for me in terms of past program launches and what's really worked for my market too. So when it comes to a new program launch, there is something to be said about those girls that sign up with you to conquer that program from day one, not knowing really what it is, and also knowing that you have no idea what's to come because no one's really tried it yet. And they're the people that see something in you, not just the program on its own, not just the whole 20 minutes a day appeals to me. Like, they want something that you have to offer. And it's because people don't care as much about a program or a product. They're invested in the result, the transformation that takes place, and the promise that you make to them that as your future client, you can help them achieve X, Y, and Z. And that's if they use the resources and they do the work and show up for themselves. If they're an active member in your Girl Squad, that online community that you have. But in order to gain someone's attention to even have those conversations, you need to be sharing your story. Beachbody is extremely helpful when it comes to program launches because even though we don't have access to these workouts in their full entirety, though we might have sample workouts to try, Beachbody utilizes something called a test group. And if you have or haven't heard of it, basically they hand select a predetermined number of coaches to essentially be the guinea pigs for new fitness programs, not just to show that they work, but to show that they can work for any type of person, whether they're modifying the program and they can't fully do the exercises to their full, high impact, if it is a higher impact workout, but also showing how nutrition complements it and Shakeology plays a role, and showing different body types, different stages of life, and saying, look at the sample of people. This program not only works, but it works for different people. So these coaches commit to the workout program start to finish. So it allows you to look at a wide variety of coaches and say, I can pull those results and these results, and it will appeal to my group. Say they're moms, and you appeal to a market of young moms. You want to pull the results from women who've had children and got their body back maybe, because you can't show them your results for the specific program, the coaches that have had access to it months before it's all released to BOD, you can use them to your advantage. And then when the program is so close to its launch date, the rest of us can use the test group people to, promote and truly show how it works, even though we haven't had access to it ourselves. And it's so important to offer people those examples because we are, first and foremost, the vital behavior that sets us off for success is being proof that the products work. So if we're not allowed to do that ourselves, we have to trust other coaches to do that. However, I'm going to throw a wrench in there for you. And I have a friend, if you want to look her up, you may. She's called Authentically Abigail. And I found her on Instagram. We connected, somehow serendipitously, whatever. And I really vibed with her. And I found out after having a few conversations that she is a previous Beachbody coach that no longer works the business, but is still serving her online community in a similar way. But the way that she's serving her people is as like a life and business coach, which I thought was really interesting. So I've had conversations with her, and then I watched something that she had posted the other day, and it was about the Morning Meltdown 100 program launch. And I thought, wow, this is interesting. She's not in Beachbody world still. So what is she doing? Who is she trying to reach? And essentially she's taking her experience as a coach, combining it with her new fresh perspective from the outside, and offering us guidance with, her Authentically Abigail way. So basically she, how do I want to explain this? She's able to take a step back and not just offer Beachbody coaches advice, but anyone doing MLM business, so multi-level marketing. So whether they're doing Arbonne or doTERRA or Monet, she can step back and say, this is something that's serving you in your strategy on social media. This isn't, do away with it. So the way that she catered to us Beachbody coaches the other day was for this launch and saying, these are the do's and don'ts of a proper program launch. So from our inside perspective, I really appreciated her refreshing perspective because it's easy for us to take what our company provides, being Beachbody, and to lean on it entirely. Because why wouldn't we? They're the experts, they're the creators, we should trust them. And so naturally, we devour the scripts and the sample posts, the stock images, the samples of transformation pictures from the test groups. We eat that stuff up because it makes us feel empowered and knowledgeable and trustworthy as coaches because we don't have our own transformation to share yet. So we figure, let's lean on them, the people that have done it, and Beachbody. However, it is so important that you are always putting as much you as possible into what you're sharing. So it's going to be more powerful to show your transformation, even if it was from a previous program, when you're working toward a goal like recruiting or signing people up for a challenge group, for example. So let's say, I'm just going to reverse engineer a goal with you guys out loud. So say that your goal for this program launch is to sign up 10 women to join your challenge group for Morning Meltdown 100. You're going to have to make sure that these women are signed up with, share carts, whether they're, existing BOD women that just need energize, or they need a whole challenge pack, or maybe they just want the BOD membership, but somehow you want to sign up 10 women for this group. In order to do that, you have to have conversations that establish what these women's goals are. And it's your job to make that connection between their goal and what you have to offer, and showing them that the journey that you can lead them on is aligned with what they want. And then starting those conversations with someone, even knowing that they're interested in the first place, you must first share your story so authentically and give your followers opportunity after opportunity to connect with you, showing them that you're actually on this journey in the first place, and then allowing them to give input on what you're offering. And so that will show up in ways like making a post and having a call to action, showing a before and after from, say, 21 Day Fix, and having that call to action, drop a heart emoji if you've related to my story, or if you're ready to make a change for summer, or however you want to reach out to people. Or maybe you're sharing workout videos in your story and dropping a poll and allowing people to vote and saying like, that looks like fun, or, oh my God, I would die, and reaching out based on their, examples or their, the way that they voted. But you cannot rely on scripts and stock photos to do that. And I don't want you to disregard those things completely, because they're very helpful and they serve a really great purpose. But use them for inspiration versus copying and pasting it without making it you. So I want you to infuse all of you into what you're taking from those examples. So when you do go onto your online coach office, something that I really leaned on hard my early months of coaching, and still do often for challenge groups, they're called program guides. So you can literally directly search Morning Meltdown 100 program guide. And eventually when you have a challenge group set up, you can search Morning Meltdown 100 challenge group guide, and it'll give you example posts for a challenge group. Same thing applies to social media posts as a challenge group post. Make them your own. That's my very strong and bold opinion. People don't want to see copy and paste, but use them to guide you. So those are things you want to be familiar with, but I don't want them to be your end all be all. Because when people see your posts and they're potentially interested in something that you have to offer, it won't be because you have a perfect stock photo and a post that's created by Beachbody Corporate, because anyone can do that. All coaches have access to it, so it's important for you to set yourself apart, and that's by being you, because no one else can do that. So it's going to be dependent on the way that you share your story. So when you swap the stock photos for a picture of you confident at the beach or on the boat, or maybe you swap a side-by-side transformation from a test group coach with one from before you lost the freshman 15 to after you lost the freshman 15, just showing a photo that demonstrates that where you are now is different from where you used to be. That's what's really going to connect people to you. Because when you tell your story, and people are just going to be so much more likely to commit when they know who they're committing to, I think is ultimately what it is. And I kind of had this revelation tonight when I was thinking about how we're going to talk about this. And I truly believe that when you share more and more of you, it becomes less about their objections and how can I afford to spend my time or my money on this. And it becomes this, wow, look at her transformation, look at her story. Can I afford not to do this? Because it's working for her. And they put themselves in your shoes, and people will feel connected to you because you're authentically you and no one else. And that's why we share the weird stuff too, like being a dog mom or loving the outdoors, because they're going to find bits and pieces of your life that they really connect with. And they see that you guys are a lot more alike than you are different. And then they can see, and she's making time for this workout even before she works a 10-hour shift. Or look at her making a shake instead of going through the drive-through and talking about how she wanted to go through the drive-through instead. They're going to be so intrigued by you. So instead of sharing the stuff from the test group and worrying about this coach or that coach doing it, talk about how the process has worked for you. Beyond this brand new shiny program, talk about the journey in itself, working out in general, having access to your gym at home, not just giving them the fast facts of this is the program, this is how long you work out, this is the muscle group that it targets. Talk about you and the fact that you're at a different place now than when you started because of the fact you have an online group supporting you every single day of the week, that you have best friends because of this journey and because of the business, or because you can make your shakes at home, you can work out at home. Pull the things from your journey that apply no matter what program you're doing, and just talk about those things. So any transformation that you share, I think, would be more effective than a test group, even if it's from 80-day obsession or 21-day fix, because your story is valuable to them beyond anyone else's. They're following you, they're keeping up with you, and they want to commit to themselves because of you. They're having these thoughts because of something you said or something you did. So be real and raw. Think about who you signed up with, whether it's me or whether it's someone else. Why the heck did you sign up with me? Is it because I shared stock photos? I try not to do that crap because I know it doesn't appeal to my people, and a lot of people don't like it either. But talk about how you've been there. at the before picture, how that used to be you, how you've been there and done that, and you used to exhaust yourself at the gym with hours of cardio. You're trying to burn off the dessert you had this weekend, how you might have used to have had a negative relationship with food, but now you're not controlled by that because you found portion control and you know how to enjoy the things you love, but in moderation. Or talk about how you feel confident and body positive because you realize that it's not about a weight or a number, but feeling good from the inside out, and how you found supportive, uplifting friends that you never had before. Because that's my story for sure. Because when you share all of those positive things and the different results and transformations that you've had throughout this entire journey, and not cramming yourself into a box of this one program that has to be a one size fits all, talk about everything that's really culminated and created this transformation for you, then you become this testament to your people that the whole journey is worth it. And the more real you are when you share your story, allows them to trust you with theirs. And I think that's ultimately the biggest thing that you can use to launch off when you're promoting a new program, is promote the journey. I think that's what I'm trying to get at tonight. But if you guys have questions or you want to comment, or for the girls that aren't here live with us, if you want to share something on your heart about your transformation or what works for you or what hasn't, and you want to talk it through, we can do that. Up to you guys. You're my girls. You're here live. You get first dibs. I'm going to do gallery view so you can see everyone in the recording. Rachel's like, I have nothing. I can end the recording if you guys want. Does it sound good?